There's a lot of confusion surrounding national park entry passes and some big changes that have been made for 2021. We're going to cover them all on this video. I'm Jason Epperson, and this is RV Miles. And on this channel, we talk about RVing, we talk about national parks, we talk about camping, and a whole lot more. And today, we're talking about national park passes. Not just national park passes, but passes to federal lands of all stripes. It's called the Interagency Pass. And it's a really confusing word, but it comes from the fact that there are several agencies that manage our federal lands, including the National Park Service, the Bureau of Land Management, the U.S. Forest Service, Fish and Wildlife, the Army Corps of Engineers. And many of these lands that are operated by the federal government have recreation fees to access them. And because there are so many different agencies, there are different fees and there are different ways to pay them. But all of them came together years ago to develop what's called the Interagency Pass. We now call it the America the Beautiful Pass, but you might see it referred to as the Interagency Pass wherever you see it listed. But the America the Beautiful Pass is the pass that allows you access to all of these lands for a fee or for free if you fall under certain designations. So let's talk about all the different types of passes they are, starting with the annual pass. The annual pass is available to anyone 16 or over, and it's only available to people 16 or over because anyone 16 or under gets onto federal lands free regardless. So if you are 16 or over, you do have to pay admission on certain federal lands. It's not all federal lands, but it's a good amount of them, particularly a lot of national parks. The annual pass is $80 a year, and if you are over 16, you can pick it up at any fee-charging federal recreation facility, or you can buy it online from store.usgs.gov. This pass will get you free entry into all your favorite national parks and some other federal lands that charge admission for the course of a year. Now, it may not be worthwhile for you to buy an $80 a year pass. A lot of national parks charge somewhere around $30 to $35 for a week-long entry. And if that's all you're doing over the course of the year, it probably makes sense just to do that. A lot of national parks also have their own annual pass, so maybe you can pay $55 a year to be an annual pass holder at Yellowstone. Say you live nearby the park and it's the only park that you're likely to visit over the course of the year. That may be the route for you. The regular annual pass provides no other discounts other than entry into federal fee charging facilities and what they call standard amenity fees. Standard amenity fees means like day use fees. So for instance, this Army Corps of Engineers site I'm standing at right now charges $5 a day for people who aren't camping here to come and visit and use the boat ramp and fish and all that sort of stuff. The pass would cover that, but it would not cover stuff like picnic shelter rentals or tours or camping. All that sort of stuff is what they call an enhanced recreation fee, and you don't get any sort of discount with the annual pass on those. You do get a discount with some other passes we'll get to in a minute. So that $80 for the annual pass gets one carload into any of these fee charging facilities, or up to 4 people if it's a per person type facility, a walk-in type facility. But generally it's going to cover your carload. And the annual passes have 2 signature slots on the back of them. So if you're a couple, you can share the pass. They will ask for your ID when you arrive at a place where you have to show your pass, so it does need to match up, and you can't share it except for the other signature holder on the card. So that is convenient. So say you're staying in Zion National Park and you're right next to the town of Springdale where you can walk in and walk out, and your family only wants to have one national park pass. You don't want to buy multiples. You can have separate people go in and out of the park at a time as long as their signature is on that pass card. That can be very helpful. Certain folks can get an annual pass for free with the exact same benefits. Those include active duty members of the U.S. military and their immediate families, and that includes reservists, but it does not include Department of Defense civilians, and it does not include veterans. We'll get to veterans in a little bit. Anybody that volunteers on public lands for over 250 hours in a year gets a free annual pass. And all 4th graders, as part of the Every Kid Outdoors program, can apply for an annual pass. Now, remember I said all kids get in free if they're 16 or under, but this pass will allow their whole family, their whole carload, to get into free so the parents won't have to pay. And it's just a way to encourage kids to get out in nature. There's lots of studies that have found 10-year-olds and kids in that age range are learning about the world and are learning about the world around them and are starting to understand the world around them in a different way. So they figured through this program, it used to be called Every Kid in a Park, now it's called Every Kid Outdoors, that they can provide access to children to national parks to help support that learning. Now, if your children are homeschooled, they can also apply for the pass as well. It's good for 4th graders or any 10-year-olds. In order to get the Every Kid Outdoors Pass, you have to go online to a website, which I will link to in the description, where you can print out a form, and you have to print the form out, fill it out, and bring it to one of these facilities to get a pass. Now, this is where one of the big changes for this year has been made. Because of the coronavirus pandemic and the fact that it's been harder for people to get to some of these places, they've decided to make the Every Kid Outdoors Pass available to 5th graders for the coming school year. So up to August 31st, 2021, 4th and 5th graders will be able to receive an annual pass. Now, the annual pass expires 12 months after the date of purchase on the last date of that month. So if you were to purchase the pass on January 1st, 2021, it would actually be good through January 31st of the next year, up to 13 months if you play your cards right. Now, the next pass is the Senior Pass, and it used to be called the Golden Age Pass. No longer. It is now called the Senior Pass, and it is offered in 2 forms. You can get it annually, or you can get a lifetime pass, and it's for anyone 62 or over. So if you are 62 and over, you can either pay $20 for a 1-year pass, or you can pay $80 for a pass that's good for the rest of your life. If you do pay for the annual pass and you keep it and you buy a new one the next year, you can actually add them up to equal the lifetime pass. So if you have purchased 2 annual passes and you say, hey, I'm going to be doing this for a while, I'm going to be going to these places for a while, you can just go ahead and take those 2 that are worth $40 and pay the additional $40, and you can get your lifetime pass. The Senior Pass offers all the benefits of the regular annual pass, but also a few more. You get half off those enhanced amenity fees. You get half off camping at all these different federal facilities, not just national parks, but U.S. Forest Service and Fish and Wildlife and Army Corps of Engineers, all of them. You get half off, or close to half off at U.S. Forest Service. U.S. Forest Service is a little bit different because it doesn't fall under the Department of the Interior like the other departments. It actually falls under the Department of Agriculture. So they make a few different little decisions on their own. If you camp in a U.S. Forest Service campground that has electricity, you actually pay half off the camping rate and full price for the electricity rate. It often works out to being about a third off of camping. But the Senior Pass also gives you half off things like tours, picnic shelter reservations, boat ramp usage fees. Most of that stuff you can get half off of. You cannot usually get a discount on any of those amenities that are offered by a concessionaire. So not by the Park Service or the federal government itself, but it's ran by a private party. So there are several campgrounds in the National Park Service, for instance, that are operated by private concessionaires. But there are a lot of campgrounds out there, a heck of a lot of them, that aren't run by concessionaires, where you do get half off. Now, if you're a couple, you could just get one Senior Pass for the 2 of you, because again, it's for your whole carload. You can bring your grandkids along, you can bring your children along, whatever it might be. It's for your carload. It will give you admission. But if you're a couple and get 2 passes, that's going to give you both half off for things like tours. Now, the third pass I want to talk about is the Access Pass. The Access Pass is for anybody living with a disability, and it's good for anybody with any disability that is life-altering at any level. So you have to be permanently disabled, but it does not have to be 100% disability. It can be at any level. And the bar for this isn't the same as, for instance, a disabled parking placard. It doesn't have to be a mobility disability. It can be a learning disability. It can be all sorts of physical or mental disabilities. It just has to be permanent and life-altering. The Access Pass is free, it's lifetime, and it provides the exact same benefits as the Senior Pass. So free admission to facilities, plus half off camping and half off tours and all that good stuff. In order to get the Access Pass, you're supposed to provide documentation either from a doctor or a federal agency showing that you have a disability. So a note from your doctor that says you have a permanent disability and what that disability is will suffice. A Social Security award letter showing that you have a disability will suffice. A disabled VA designation will suffice. Now there's one other type of free entry that just began today. Veterans Day, November 11th, 2020. That's the day I'm recording this video. All veterans of the U.S. military of any kind can now get onto any lands ran by the Department of the Interior for free. There is no pass for veterans, but veterans that have any federal ID, for instance, your VA card, or if you have a different federal ID that shows you're a veteran, or a state ID like your driver's license, if it has a veteran's designation on it, you can just show that at national parks or other federal fee charging facilities. They've also extended that free entry for life to Gold Star families, the immediate family members of anyone who lost their life in a qualifying situation. Now the challenge here though is that Gold Star families are required to identify themselves, and they'll just be taken on their word, which is a little, it gives people the opportunity to game the system, but it also makes people that are Gold Star families mention that they had a loved one die in war every time that they pull up to the gate. Not the greatest system in the world, and hopefully they'll come up with a pass that these people can show in the future. But Gold Star families and veterans can now get access to all federal lands under the Department of the Interior. Now, how do you get all these passes? The easiest way is to go to store.usgs.gov, U.S. Government Services online store. You can get any of them there, and you will pay a $10 service fee in order to get them. So even though passes like the Access Pass and the Military Pass are free, you will pay a $10 service fee to get them if you buy them online. And if you are going to buy them online, check. They show on the website usually what their backup is. Sometimes it can be 10 to 12 weeks before you get one. Sometimes it's only a few days, but you want to make sure if you've got a trip coming up and you're planning on purchasing one of these passes, that you don't purchase it and it doesn't come in the mail before you go. Now, the other way you can get any of these passes is by visiting one of these fee charging facilities. If it has a cash register, they probably sell the pass. There are some 422 national park sites in the country, and only about 1/3 of them actually charge a fee. So make sure the place you're going actually charges a fee before you go out and buy one of these passes as well. But if you do buy it in person, 80% of the money that you spent on that pass stays within that park. So if you want to support a certain park, you can buy the pass there. It will take a little bit more time. So if you're at a place where there's like a long entrance line to get in, it may take a little bit of time to do, but you can still do it. But that's one of the benefits of purchasing in advance, is you don't have to wait in line or anything like that. Another benefit of purchasing in advance is that you can use that senior card or that access card to then reserve campgrounds on recreation.gov, and you can enter your pass number right there and get your half off when you reserve your campsite. If you don't do that, you can pay full price and then call up recreation.gov and they'll give you a refund of the half that you paid. If you lose any of these passes, you do have to replace them. There is no way for them to find you in the system and then give you a replacement pass. If your pass is damaged, they'll give you a replacement pass. But if you lose your senior pass, for instance, that is your lifetime $80 pass, you'll have to pay $80 again. If you lose your access pass, you will have to show your proof of disability again. There's no way around that. Now, a lot of the places you'll go to with these passes, they'll want you to display them in the window of your vehicle because there might not be an entrance station. And you can pick up a free hang tag at any of these facilities to hang it from your rear view mirror. Now, if you're driving a vehicle like a motorcycle where you can't hang a hang tag, you can actually pick up a free sticker. The sticker's only good for a year, even if you have a lifetime pass. But you can get a sticker that can go on your vehicle. Let's say you have an open top Jeep or something like that, and you don't have an easy way to put your pass out where somebody wouldn't take it. You can go to any of the ranger stations or the entrance stations and get the sticker. If you forget to bring your pass with you, you will have to pay to enter. They have no way of looking you up. If you haven't bought a pass in advance and you're going on vacation and you know that you're going to get the military or the access pass, for instance, make sure to bring the documentation you need with you. If you're going to enter a park on bicycle, the pass will cover the pass holder plus up to 3 adults. If you're going to enter on motorcycle, it's only going to cover the people on that given motorcycle because that's considered a vehicle. If you're walking into a park, it's going to cover the pass holder and up to 3 adults. If you buy the senior pass online, they do a quick verification of your age using your social security number, so you don't have to submit any documentation for your age. But do know that the access pass takes a little bit longer for them to process than some of the other passes. So that's my overview of all the different passes for national parks and other federal lands for the year 2021. Now, these passes aren't generally going to get you into state parks or any other parks that are ran by other forms of government like city and county. These are for the federal government parks only. I'm putting this all together in an article as well, so if you want to look for that in the description, you can find some more about the details there, or just visit store.usgs.gov. They have a lot of the information there as well. If you found value from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click that like button. It helps show it to other people. And if you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell that pops up after so that you get notified every time that we put a video out. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.